So, Dave, since Zoom didn't want to let us be great, I'm going to pose the question to you again. If Joe Burrow went number one, obviously, Trevor Lawrence, who everyone's going to tank for next year, or they're saying Justin Fields might creep up and take that number one spot. I don't know how, but if Trevor Lawrence had a waiver to come out this year, who would you take number one, Trevor Lawrence or Joe Burrow?
Listen, I'd still go with Joe Burrow. Listen, not to take anything away from Trevor Lawrence. I think he's a great talent. Listen, everybody's talking about sunshine and that hair. I think he's going to be a good, a really good quarterback when he comes to the NFL. But listen, they went head-to-head, man, and look who won. Listen, I think Joe Burrow is definitely, one of those quarterbacks that, you instill into an offense. You put him on a team, man, he's going to make a difference right away. Cincinnati had a tough year last year. And before that, I forgot the last time they actually had a good year. But I think Burrow's going to make a huge difference when it comes to that team. I just think some of the qualities that he has, he's really going to be able to bring to the NFL and make a difference on that offense.
Pete, talk some sense into Dave. Do it right now.
There's no way somebody is going to pass on sunshine, man.
I like sunshine, but
if you want to give you the main reason why somebody is going to pick him first is because he's younger and has done it for more years than Burrow has. Burrow had a one thing so far. He had an unbelievable year, but it was 1 year. Trevor Lawrence has been a winner every single year. He went to the championship last year. He won the championship the year before that. He's been great every single time he's played. So one game.
So did he win it last year though against Burrow? Though?
But I was gonna say he's lost one game in 2 years. Who's lost more games in the past 2 years? Him or Burrow?
No.
Lawrence has lost one game in 2 years.
When they go head to head, listen.
It's a team sport, Dave.
I like Burrow. I know. I like Burrow better though. So.
That's why we saw like 15 players off of LSU's team got drafted in the first 2-3 rounds of the draft because they had a stacked team. Clemson had a good team too, but LSU had stacked a team. They had more players drafted. They tied for the most players drafted ever in history of the NFL draft. They had a stacked team. So when you look at that, you're like one person is going with maybe 3-4 guys on offense, and the other guys, his entire offense is going to the NFL draft. So I think there's no way that somebody as great of a year as Burrow's had that they're going to pass up somebody who's younger and has more experience of doing better than Trevor Lawrence.
Listen, I'll add this in. Trevor Lawrence probably shouldn't have beaten Ohio State. Ohio State, I think, had the better team. Their defense was super stacked. If you couldn't tell, I think they had 3 first-round draft picks from that defense. And somehow he found the will and a way to win. Talent-wise, Clemson didn't have the best team talent-wise going into that Final Four. I would say they were the 3rd best team on paper. But you saw the plays he made against a tough defense. You saw Chase Young was killing him. But that toughness, his moxie, all that stuff came into play when he was making plays with his feet, making plays with his arm. Just that alone. I didn't think they were going to – I picked them to beat Ohio State, but majority of people picked Ohio State to win that game. And that's because they just had a better team on paper. And then against LSU, he got them out to an early lead. His defense couldn't stop Joe Burrow. And he was also playing another great defense. And also T. Higgins got hurt. 2 of his receivers got hurt in that game. T. Higgins would come out, then come back in, and then come back out again. And then I believe their second best wide receiver was also injured in that game. And Travis Etienne was his only weapon in that game.
Yeah.
So while I'm not going to take away anything from Joe Burrow's season, listen, man, he beat Georgia. He beat Alabama.
He broke college football records, didn't he?
He broke records. Yeah, he broke records. He beat Oklahoma. And he, at the end of the day, he did beat Trevor Lawrence head-to-head. I just think LSU was way more stacked. And if they had to come out at the same time this year, I just think I wouldn't bet against Sunshine, man. You're going to see next year. If he brings down national championship, he's going to be the Heisman, and he's definitely going to be the number 1 pick next year, and I would have just taken him this year.
So I'm going to pose a question to you guys then. Who has the better NFL career, Sunshine or Burrows?
I think Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence, dude. Trevor Lawrence.
And you also got to remember,
well, it depends on where he's obviously selected too, and then I think that's going to be big too.
Apparently, everyone thinks Jacksonville is going to suck next year. So
So he's going to Jackson.
but the point is that also Trevor Lawrence is a bigger guy. He has a stronger arm. So if you want to get into the techniques of their physique and how they transfer towards the NFL where there's bigger players and everything, he's more fit for that. And also, he's only 20 years old. Like, Joe Burrow is 23, about to turn 24 this year. So it's a big difference in terms of Lawrence has actually played more in college pretty much than Burrow has, and he's 3 years younger. So you have a lot more to work with. He's going to absorb everything better. He should absorb everything better. It's just a bigger mold of clay that you can make out of him.
Fair point, and that's going to be the discussions they're going to be had for the next couple of years, not only with Burrow and Tua, obviously next year with Justin Fields, because they're saying Justin Fields is going to be great. But Trevor Lawrence is going to have a big weight on his shoulders to live up to the hype. They're saying, he's the next can't-miss prospect, the next Andrew Luck, the next Peyton Manning, guys that you just can't miss on, franchise quarterbacks. Moving along, I wanted to talk about quarantine life and how we're missing sports. So I just want to ask you, Pete, what is the most obscure thing you watch while in quarantine? And we're going to ask each other this every week because it's like obscure, sports related, or it could be anything else.
Yeah,
mine is going to be sports related.
Well, this one is partially. Well, there's two things really, but I stayed up till 1:30 in the morning to watch South Korean baseball.
Were you FaceTiming Sam Darnold?
What does Sam Darnold have to do with this? Like,
you're staying up. I don't know, virtual clubs. I don't know.
Listen, and the second is this weekend. ESPN had the Ocho on, and the Ocho has every single weird type of competitions you can watch. And for some reason, I found myself really watching the hamburger eating contest.
Oh my God.
The greatest of rivalries that we had with Kobayashi. It made me remember Kobayashi before he got kicked out of the World Eating Contest. So that's what I was watching over the weekend.
Dave, what were you watching? Hamburger. I mean, I was grilling hamburgers.
I didn't realize there was.
I kind of got that. Yeah, that's cool.
I would have loved it. I'd like to be a part of a hamburger competition, man. I love hamburgers.
Not how it is.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, when it comes to sports, like, I mean, I've been on ESPN.com a lot. I mean, I haven't really watching, too much TV other than, Netflix. I mean, and it's not obscure. I mean, I just been trying to, find shows and stuff like that. I've been maybe reading too much in terms of the news. NJ.com and NY Daily News, CNN.
Dave, you are missing the biggest rivalry in sports. Joey Chestnut versus Kobayashi.
Oh, my God.
That's the biggest rivalry in sports right now.
Joey Chestnut, man. Wow. Haven't heard
right now, it's probably the biggest rivalry in sports because there ain't shit else going on.
What are you watching?
Listen, so I'm not going to be embarrassed to say this. I was watching the slippery stairs competition.
The what?
On the Ocho.
I don't even know what that is. Wow.
I didn't see that.
All right, so basically you have to go up these very narrow stairs that's being wet and oiled down. Well, I think it's oiled down already, but it's also being watered from the top. It's like 2 flights of stairs with like 5 other people. There's a men's and a women competition. And it's literally just trying to get up the stairs without falling. And at the same time, as you're trying to get up the stairs, like the players you're playing against can clip you, throw you like backwards. Literally, you're just going upstairs that are slippery. And ESPN is actually behind this product. Wow. I don't know if it takes any athletic type of conditioning, but yeah, that's what I was watching. Their strategy. Everyone seems to be from California, so I'm not sure if there's any other good players in the United States that play this game, but everyone seemed to be from California. I guess the event took place in California, and it seemed like it was just frat boys and sorority girls basically just going up the stairs, having a good time. And I don't know if there was a prize at the end of this, but there was a post slippery stair interview after every competition. So like, hey, how'd you feel about throwing that person down or climbing up some stairs?
Say now, if we find out Michael Jordan was betting on that, then he has a problem. Yes,
he might have been. All right, he might have been. I'm going to contact with his reps, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
Possibly.
So before we end the show, we're basically going to say some nice things about a person kind of dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Who isn't family, but treated me like family.
Yeah.
As you know, I've been in boxing for almost 9 years, and with boxing comes a lot of socializing. And the place that we mostly socialized when there was fights in New York City was Jimmy's Corner.
Yeah.
I've known Jimmy since 2011.
Yeah.
His wife, who also passed, was also very nice and very mean to me in some instances. Jimmy had coronavirus, and he actually passed away today from COVID-19. And I really don't know what else to say about Jimmy, but he was the nicest person you could ever meet. He treated me with so much love, kind of like he was like my older uncle that was always there to like, hey, man, I got you. Come here. There would be times where I would go to his bar after the fights and it'd be packed. Like if you've never been to Jimmy's Corner, it's like a boxing staple.
Yourself in there.
You couldn't fit anywhere, but somehow Jimmy always made space for me, and he always treated me so good. And at the end of the day, like, this is just terrible news as a boxing fan and as just a person that loved to talk to him, even when it wasn't about boxing. His two sons opened their doors to us as well when he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I love Jimmy Glenn. Like, this is a big loss for me. This is just terrible. Pete, I know you know Jimmy Glenn, so if you want to say some words on Jimmy, please share.
Yeah, it really hit me hard when I found out the news. As you know, we go there after every single fight. Even when it's in Brooklyn, sometimes we'll drive to New York to go to Jimmy's Corner after a fight. And I've been covering fights with you, especially since 2012. And he's the nicest person. I mean, you will go in there after a fight, like Vic said, it'll be completely packed. I remember during the Sergio Martinez and Cotto fight, you could not fit a person. There was a line outside to get in there because they were at capacity. And he would pull me and Vic over. He'd be like, just hold on for a second. And he just slip us into the back, and he'll find a way to fit us in there. There was another time where I went there, and there was a bunch of people at the bar. It was packed, nowhere to sit. And I was bringing people to show them the place for the first time. I said hi to Jimmy. I was like, there's nowhere to sit, so we'll just wait for somebody to set up. He's like, no. He moves 3 people down, pushed them down to the side. He was like, nah, they got to sit here. They're VIPs. Didn't even know the people that I brought, but he said they're VIPs. They got to sit there so we can sit at the bar. He was that type of person that he always looked out for you, and he always treated you like you were family. His son, every time me and Vic walk in there, we got the little boxing tags, and he's like, yo, what fight were you covering tonight, or something like that. And then we sit down and talk with Jimmy. I wish we had recorded it. There was one time where me and Vic actually went to his back room. His office, just talked about boxing from the past and who he imagined, who does he like, who he doesn't. And it wasn't just boxing. He talked about basketball too and who he liked. And it was just his little corner. If you just go in his back corner and look around, you see all the history of boxing and everything. It's just amazing to see it. So for me, and this was the first person that I personally knew that was lost to the coronavirus. So it really kind of like shocked me. I knew he had it, but every day I thought he was doing okay and he would make it out, and I was praying he would make it out. So for this to happen, it just kind of really rocked me earlier today. And I just want to send all the condolences to his family. And I see his sons and I'll see them again. And just hope that they're strong enough and send their prayers to him and his entire family.
Dave, you want to add anything about Jimmy Glenn?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I didn't get to meet him, obviously. But I never got to meet him. So I know you guys invited me a couple of times, to go to Jimmy's Corner. I mean, I've been there probably, I think, once maybe that I could recollect, and it was a long, long time ago. But listen, I know how important, what I'm saying, he is in terms of being a friend, and. That I think that's a special thing, right? Like, you don't have to, call somebody, family. They don't have to be blood. It could be a friend, what I'm saying, that you consider family. And obviously this guy is family, whether it's to you guys or the boxing family world or, anything that comes, when it comes to, New York sports. So, definitely my condolences to his family, his blood family, and the boxing family, the boxing world, the fans in New York for New York sports. I know this is a big hit for everybody. So wish I would have met the guy. And from the sound of it, from what you guys are saying, obviously, he was a great guy. So, the world lost a great guy. So, what we can do is remember and honor him, for the rest of the time that we're living, and the boxing world and New York sports is living. So
one of the great things I saw on social media today was everybody posted their pictures that they had there and the pictures that they had with him and everything. Like the last time that I saw this much outpouring out of like social media boxing community was when Big U and our boy Juan Beasley had passed away, and we saw how many people he touched. This was one of those situations where everybody had either met or know about or seen or talked to Jimmy, and they know how he is and they know what a kind person he is. And like you even mentioned with his wife, I put a post earlier that says now they're together again, because we were there when we knew about when his wife had passed, and we knew it had changed him a little bit. But now this one was just out of nowhere, and it's just it hurts. But like I said, now he's with them, and they're together again.
Listen, I'm not gonna end this show with our normal way. The only thing I'll say these last words, and then we'll head out. He impacted a lot of lives, even if you weren't in boxing. I've been to his place, non-boxing related. The place was always filled. Everyone loved him. So when this is all over, the only thing I'll say is just go to Jimmy's corner once, give his sons a hug,
and
honor his legacy.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Out.
What's up, guys?